The 90% Win Strategy. Michiko's Zen Code.
Hello everyone, I'm Michiko Yukiyoshi. In the third installment of the Election Campaign Speaker's Manual for Campaign Teams, I would like us to learn together how to get closer to professional appeals through information gathering before the election. Even if you've been chosen as a campaign van operator or an election campaign speaker, male or female, you might feel anxious thinking about what to do or what to say. You don't need to think too hard about it. The most important thing is to repeat the candidate's name and say, "Thank you sincerely." If your mind goes completely blank, just keep repeating, "Everyone in your area, please support Taro Senkyo until you regain your composure." Keep repeating, "Thank you." It's one of the techniques for when you're in trouble. Once you've regained your composure and feel you can speak, try adding in policies where appropriate. Now, as your nerves gradually start to ease, you come to your senses and begin to feel that you aren't being useful unless you include more information about the candidate and say something worthwhile. So, what should you do? For example, let's consider if you were to sell something at a supermarket counter. You would understand the product's origin, the company that made it, its appeal, specifications, etc. before starting the job. You can think of promoting a candidate on a campaign tour in exactly the same way. What are their policies? Where did they go to school? Where is their hometown? What is their family structure? What are their hobbies? What is their career history? Having a lot of information helps you deliver a more flexible response tailored to the time, place, and occasion in your election announcements, conveying the candidate's appeal instantly. Think of a commercial. Sometimes you can remember it in just 1 or 2 seconds so vividly that you can't forget it. A good campaign tour is exactly like a wonderful commercial. You can also express the candidate's personality, not only about their campaign promises and policy directions, but also study the pamphlets and materials well in advance. As for me, for instance, if the candidate is a doctor, I would look into the Internal Medicine Society or whatever federations they are part of and visit that city's administrative page. Then I check various things like the population, the situation with children on waiting lists for daycare, what kind of welfare activities are being conducted, and what local specialties are being promoted both inside and outside the region. That's because the candidate is equivalent to a product. So when asked, what kind of candidate is it? I don't know. That's not good. This is the kind of candidate they are. They graduated from such and such school. They have done such and such jobs. This is their personality. They have this kind of involvement in sports. You should know what they are good at, usually, what kind of candidate they are, and what they want to do with their policies. Memorizing their catchphrases, family structure, career history, etc., so you can immediately answer voters on the street would be ideal. If it's hard to put your heart into it, try to have the mindset of campaigning for your own parent or family. The tone of your words should change, and it should resonate with the voters. Your confidence in recommending as you hold the microphone will make your words resonate sincerely. Understand the candidate as a product well and confidently and boldly appeal for them. This is a tip that applies to all professions that involve speaking in front of people. It's better if you can memorize it all, but since people tend to repeat the same words when they get tired, if memorization is impossible for you, thorough reading is also fine. The goal isn't rote memorization. It's more efficient to gain a lot of the candidate's appeal in a short time. The best shortcut is to like the candidate you're responsible for at that time. You'll remember it even if you don't intend to memorize it. The best trick to remembering is to like the candidate. Please keep that firmly in mind. The candidate's brochure is posted behind the front seat, so if you read it thoroughly and repeatedly until it's almost memorized, you'll be able to speak naturally without looking at everything. Then your campaigning activities will be better communicated to voters, and holding the mic will become much more enjoyable and rewarding for you. Please give it a try. Get closer to professional appeal by gathering information before the third election. Think of the candidate as a product name and make sure to gather information in advance. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to watch next time too. Bye! Sorry. Election Announcer's Question Corner. Yay! Yes! For the third time, I'd like to answer various questions. Here is the first question. Why do you say election ugusuju? Why are men called crows? That's the question. Yes. Well, I once asked an elderly teacher from the generation that first started doing the uguisuju role during elections about the origin. It's said to compare a person's campaigning skill to the skill of a small bird's song. The election ugisuju is likened to an ugisu bird because of its excellent song. So, the person who can handle the mic and speak the best is called the election uguisuju. And the next best one is someone who still needs to put in a bit more effort. That's the mejiro bird. That's what they call it, mejiro. And the one with the least good singing voice is said to have been called a crow. There were 3 ranks, uguisuju, mejiro, and crow. Like, that person is still a crow, that person is still a mejiro, that person is truly an uguisuju, and so on. However, over time, as it transitioned to the modern era, the term crow came to overlap with the black suit color, and the male campaign announcers began to be called crows. Here's the second question. It's about failures I can only talk about now, but I don't really want to say them. Well, I think there are about 2. I had an upset stomach twice during the House of Councillors election. In that summer's intense heat, when you return to the car, the cold air from the AC blasts you, and when you go outside, you're drenched in sweat from the scorching heat. So you get drenched in sweat, return to the car, and the AC hits you, cooling you down again. Repeating this makes you thirsty, so you end up drinking a lot. Then you get an upset stomach and want to go to the bathroom. But the electoral district is so large that it's just moving with hardly any time to stop for a break. In such harsh working conditions, I once had to grab some toilet paper and run to a station bathroom. So everyone, be careful. Well, another thing, though I don't really want to say this, is that just one time in my life, I got really angry, probably around my mid-20s. I got angry about, well, the attitude towards the election, and I couldn't stand it. So out of 400 cases, I came back only once. Yes, this is a secret. I'm sorry. This is the third question. Don't you get asked if you'll become a politician? Well, yes, I have been invited. I have many friends who have transitioned from election campaign announcers to politicians. But originally, I dislike feeling constrained and I want to live freely. Now, politicians can't even date freely, things get posted on social media immediately, and it seems like their privacy is hardly protected. And well, when they go out for meals, they have to pay out of their own pocket each time. As a single mother, I still want to date. And since there are no saints in this world, it's hard for politicians who are criticized by others in a world where they themselves can't be perfect. You need a lot of motivation to overcome that. Otherwise, it's a job you can't do. My work is to support those politicians and to bridge the gap between politicians and the voters. And I intend to dedicate my life to this mission. Well, my own mother had depression from around my kindergarten years, and my father went bankrupt during the oil shock, and I've come this far with the support of many people. Since then, I've been affected by the Hanshin earthquake, faced various challenges after starting my own company, been scammed, had children, and cared for others. I've experienced many things. But just when I thought I could finally have some fun after my children grew up, I developed electromagnetic hypersensitivity and found myself in an environment where I had to relearn many things from scratch. So, I studied world technology and military power and decided to learn more by joining a political school. And just when I thought I would expand my network further, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Reflecting on the past, I'm currently working hard to rebuild the foundation of my company, starting from our corporate philosophy, with guidance from a small and medium enterprise consultant. People tend to have negative thought patterns ingrained in them due to trauma or their environment to a greater or lesser extent. And unless one consciously decides to live better and change their mindset and makes an effort to change every day, 24 hours a day, it's hard to break those thought patterns. As a single mother of one, I know firsthand how hard it is to change. And if we don't change now, it won't be in time for our grandchildren's generation. That's the kind of person I am. So since the COVID-19 pandemic, I've been reviewing management starting with our corporate philosophy, and I've made children's education my vision until I die. Changing the subject a bit. Once, I saw a man who was clearly in his 70s at a convenience store, and he spent about 10 minutes deciding on a single rice ball. He was probably on his way back from a security job wearing something like a down jacket, and I kept watching him from behind. While holding a microphone, images of such people and various others sometimes come to mind. Even when holding a microphone with no one walking around, I keep in mind that there are people like that behind the walls and speak with sincerity. I believe that the candidates who are running to help serve as the last stronghold for those who hear my voice echoing in this town, including the elderly man and others who are crying or troubled about how to live going forward without any place to turn. I want voters to realize that there is not much time left in today's Japan to protect the future of our children. I hope people consider that if all citizens don't exercise their right to vote and elect competent leaders, the grandchildren's era will have progressed too far, and Japan may not be Japan anymore in our children's era. We are now at a pivotal moment for change. Well, I hold the microphone seriously with that sense of urgency. Thank you very much. That was the question corner with the campaign announcer. Please watch everything after this too. Thank you in advance.
The 90% Win Strategy. Michiko's Zen Code. The 90% Win Strategy. Michiko's Zen Code.